Well, back in the U.S., cities are being hit with so-called teen takeovers, which are massive groups of kids wreaking havoc on their communities. Many major cities in the country, including DC, Chicago, San Francisco, San Diego, and Philadelphia, it's a long list, already have curfews to try and stop this. And while some are considering stricter laws, it's clear that we need to go further. Obviously, these kids need to be held accountable, but I agree with U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro that parents need accountability too, even if it means jail time. Earlier this month, Rafael Jauregui had to shield 5 of his kids when an all-out brawl broke out at a Chipotle restaurant in D.C. Rafael joins us now to talk about more of the experience. So you're at Chipotle with your kids, just trying to get a good meal. What happened?
Well, it's very, we go to our Nationals game, and after the game, right, we want to go get a meal, and we sit down, and we're just doing the family thing, right? And then an argument broke out, and from that argument, it just sort of exploded. At that point, it got my attention where I just kind of perked up a little bit. And then I started seeing sort of unfolding, and I told the kids, get up, get behind me. And then there was a concrete pillar to my right. I already identified that pillar before we even sat down and ordered. It's that military training I was talking about in other interviews throughout the week past. And that was just sort of an identification of, if ever needed, I can use that pillar as a shield. And I immediately took that posture and position. And so I call it a curse and a blessing, because I can't necessarily just sit down at a restaurant without doing this type of planning. Yeah. And so that's kind of what happened.
So you're referring to needing to defer to your military experience while you're in a Chipotle in the nation's capital with your children. Yeah. What was happening? How dangerous did you perceive the situation to be, and why did you think it was that dangerous?
Well, before we went in there, I didn't perceive that there was high danger in that area, or I wouldn't have taken the children there, right?
Right, of course.
But as the situation started unraveling, it was getting escalated really quickly. And then one of the things that I was checking upon was that I was scanning for, is it just fists? Is it knives? Now we have handguns. We see in reporting over the Memorial Weekend that there were weapons used, firearms, at other locations. I believe it was in Chicago. Yep. And so that's what I was scanning for, to see what elevated threat posture I needed to take. Yeah. At one point, I've talked with some military buddies, and I said, should I have engaged? And one of the things in military tactics is, when is the right time to engage? And taking the defensive posture was the right move.
Yes, absolutely. As you mentioned, this is happening all over the country. People have been killed in some of these instances.
Yes.
In D.C., what do you think needs to happen? There is a curfew. The city council has pushed back on the mayor for trying to institute some kind of accountability. As we mentioned, the U.S. Attorney Pirro is trying to hold adults accountable. What do you think needs to happen in D.C. so these young people are not doing this to families like yours?
That's right. Well, it happened. In D.C. for the Memorial Weekend, there was a curfew instituted. In a previous conversation, I said, we need to do this, but it has to be reasonable. Right? We can't have a 7 p.m. curfew, and we can't have a midnight or 1 a.m. curfew, right? That doesn't work. And I think that the mayor did a good job by saying, hey, at 8 p.m., this is stage 1, and then at 11 p.m., it's the second phase. And so, interestingly enough, I went out on Sunday with my son. We went out to the wharf, and we had Ben and Jerry's, right? And it felt like a very different environment. And so there's that cause and effect, right? That feedback loop, right? Mm-hmm. It works. And so one of the mayor candidates, McDuffie, mm-hmm. He is saying, hey, this is a solution that works, and we need to use it.
Yes, absolutely. We don't want injuries. We certainly don't want kids being scared to death. We don't want dads like you having to get behind concrete pillars to protect their family at a Chipotle in the nation's capital.
Right. Well, there is a thing. There's a financial aspect of it, too.
Yeah, of course, because people are afraid to go in.
Right. I don't want to bring my money. My friends say, hey, look, tell them.
Like it's unsafe.
Tell them, I want to go into the nation's capital. I want to check out the museums. I want to go to the Nats games.
Right. Absolutely. Well, hopefully it will change soon. Rafael Jauregui, great to see you.
Yes,
thanks
for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.